Okay, so we're beginning tonight Yevamos Vav Amid Beis, picking up by the words Ella Salka Daita Chamina. So again, we're still looking for a source that we would have thought Aseh is docheh Aseh sheish kareis, and therefore when you have the mitzvah Aseh of Yibum put against the los Aseh sheish kareis of Erva, that there would have been a Havamina that Aseh is docheh sheish kareis to go do Yibum, and our Mishnah teaches me not to do it, as the Beis and Gimel told us. Allah is going to teach me Allah, don't do it. What's the source that you would have thought Aseh is docheh Aseh sheish kareis? Until now we only brought a clear source that Aseh is docheh Aseh when there's no kareis. So here we're continuing. Ella, Salka Daita Chamina. You have it, it's like 10 lines down. I would have thought Teisim Havarah, a different source. We already tried Kibbut Avim, we tried the mitzvah Aseh of Binyan HaMikdash, and here we're up to our third try, Havarah. So the Isser on Shabbos of lighting a fire. So what is that? There's an extra pasuk that says don't light a fire in any of your settlements. So Tanan Reish Shmuel asked the question, why does the Torah have to tell me that? Gemara says right away, what type of question is that? This is famous. There's a machlokes ba'alma, Rabbi Yosi and Nasan. They have a machlokes about what the purpose of this pasuk is. I mean, the question is, it already says don't do melachah Shabbos. All 39 are understood in that pasuk. Why do you have to single out not to do Havarah, not to light the fire? So we have a machlokes. Rabbi Yosi says that it's singled out to teach me that it doesn't have the same chomer as the other melachos, right? It's only Allah say, only the chomer valav. And the second opinion of Nasan says lechalik. It's in order to teach me that even when one does one of the melachos, he's going to get a chiyuv korban v'dira b'shogeg just on that one by itself. Gemara brings the machlokes in here. The Tanya Havarah l'lav yatzasa divrei Rabbi Yosi, but he says that the pasuk is teaching me that it's only a lav, it's degraded to a losaseh without kareis, and misa and a Nasan oimer lechalik. He says the other idea to separate all 39 to teach me just like this one is separate by itself, and it's not put into the whole group. You could be chayav achatos or this by itself. So too, they're all going to be like that. Va'amar Rava, and Rava answered the question of what does Tanan Debei Shmuel bother with? Tanan Moshe's Kakashli Tanan Debei Shmuel not bother with the whole pasuk. Of course, we need the pasuk for one of these two reasons. The question is specifically on the word Mush V'Seichem. Why does the pasuk have to emphasize don't light a fire in all your settlements, wherever you are, even in Chutz La'aretz is the idea. So what's the question? Moshe's Matam Aleimar. What do you have to you say that uniquely Michli Shabbos Gufa Chayvas Hagufi Chayvas Haguf and Hages Bein Be'aretz Bein B'Chutz La'aretz. There's no reason why you would have thought that Shabbos is limited to Eretz Yisrael. Right? We have a number of mitzvahs which are limited to Eretz Yisrael, but they're all mitzvahs which we call tuliyas ba'aretz. They're all dependent on land, truma v'chule. But anything which is chovas haguf, it's the body, bound to the body. It's not to the land. So then there's no reason why it should be specific to Eretz Yisrael. So therefore, there shouldn't be a havamina that the isser of Havarah is going to be specific to when living in Eretz Yisrael. So why does the Torah have to emphasize that it's also anywhere, even in settlements outside Eretz Yisrael? Moshe was to call Rachmana b'Shabbos lamali. So why does the pasuk have to emphasize Moshe? So what's the answer? Mishum Rabbi Shmuel Amar Talmud Echad. L'fishen Amar v'chi yiyeh b'ish chet mishpat maves v'humas. The answer is like this. Talmud said in the name of Rabbi Shmuel, because it says in a different pasuk that when a person has done a sin which is obligated in Misa, he has to be killed in the Bezdin. Sheme'ani bein b'chol bein b'Shabbos. That pasuk may have been understood that the Bezdin is going to even kill on Shabbos. The pasuk says the one who this does the kareis Shabbos is chayv Misa, meaning it's also to do that. Right? It's also to do melachah. And if the Misa that Bezdin is going to give is a melachah, you shouldn't do it. B'shar melachos, chutz mi mitzvahs Bezdin. So I'll say that pasuk is by any other melachah outside Bezdin giving misa. Or eno ala fil mitzvahs Bezdin, or maybe not. Again, the first side, the Gemara explains why we go back and forth later. Maybe no, the pasuk mechala mosima says you can't do melacha. Even Bezdin can't do melacha, even when it comes to doing the mitzvah say of giving someone misa when necessary. And then the mehumas is only going to be during the week. And they wouldn't give someone mitzvah on Shabbos. Again, or Shabbos. Or maybe not. Maybe you say that it is even on Shabbos. So this is the question. So that's what this pasuk is saying. Don't light a fire in any of your settlements. So what does it show me? Because it says over there, so as Rashi brings, this pasuk is written by Beis giving Misa. And it says over there, here's the laws, l'dorosechem, in all your settlements. So it says the word Moshe v'Seichem there by Beis giving Misa. Ma Moshe v'Samurim l'halam b'Bezdin. So just like over there it says Moshe v'Seichem written by a Bezdin giving Misa. Af Moshe v'Samurim kam b'Bezdin. So we understand the pasuk Lo Savareish b'Chol Moshe v'Seichem in Parshas Vayakel is also going to be emphasizing Moshe v'Seichem for Bezdin. You're supposed to give over that connotation of it's in a Bezdin. Bezdin should not light a fire. Bezdin should not light the fire, even though when we're dealing with the Bezdin, we're talking about giving Misa. Right, so that's the Tana de Beis Shmuel that we quoted. Now, what are we proving with this? My love, Rabbi Nasan, it's also isn't this Tana Rabbi Shmuel going with the opinion of Rabbi Nasan, who understood that Lo Savareish b'Chol Moshe v'Seichem, that pasuk, as in a general sense, before we get to the specific Moshe v'Seichem, was to teach me what? Rabbi Nasan held that it's not saying it's not kareis, it's not saying it's not Misa Bezin. It's like all the other 30 melachos, this Havarah. It's just to teach me lechalik, that each one can stand by itself. You could be a chayav korban chatos for each one by itself. So the time of the So now, what do you see? It's because the Torah said straight out, Moshe v'Seichem, don't light the fire, Moshe v'Seichem in the Bezdin, even though the mitzvahs Aseh. The Aseh is not going to be docheh, the lav sheish b'kareis, and mitzvah Bezdin. Halav docheh, but it implies that other than this specific example, we would say Aseh is docheh, let's say sheish b'kareis, right, or mitzvah Bezdin, and that's going to be the answer to our question on Gimel. Why you need Allah? Because you would have thought that mitzvah seivibum is actually going to be docheh, the lav sheish by kareis of arayos. To which the Gemara responds, Lo Rebbe Yosi. I'll just say the Torah of the Rebbe Shmuel is not going with Rebbe Nasan. There was never a havamina aseh docheh lav sheish by kareis. It's going to Rabbi Yosi's opinion. Rabbi Yosi's opinion was is lo lav yosas. It's coming out to teach me that it doesn't have kareis, doesn't have misas bezin. It's only a lav. If only has a lav, so then this is an example of aseh being docheh losaseh. There's a great example. Havamina aseh is docheh losaseh. To which the pasuk has to say there's an exception here. Moshe v'Seichem that bezin does not do the mitzvah aseh of killing when necessary, even in the context of when it's in conflict with a lav.
So in Rabbi Yosi,
the lav, because the kavod
lav, it downgrades it down to. Rabbi Yosi's shita is that Shabbos is a lav, or only Havarah is a lav.
Havarah specifically, and the melachah that it would be referring to when
would be
explain Moshe v'Seichem would be Havarah. What I will say in a second, taking the lead and burning it up on fire.
It's Sreifa, no? Is it the name of the skill, or is it the name of the Misa Sreifa, or no?
Yeah.
It is, okay.
Exactly. Tomorrow responds, even if you say it's Rabbi Yosi, and therefore we say that it's only allowed to do Havarah. Rabbi Yosi Havarah, lav it's also Havarah Geredosa. Rabbi Yosi only took Havarah by itself and said that it's only alav, lighting a fire. So if you light the lead on fire, just the lighting itself, right, making a fire, that element of it is only alav. But Havarah de Bezin, but the Havarah that Bezin is doing to kill someone, like you said, Sreifa, Bishul Psilahu, you're taking a piece of a lead and you're cooking it. It's more than just lighting a fire. We consider this bishul. You're cooking the lead. Usually we only have cooking by food, but it doesn't have to be, as the Gemara says. Mali bishul psilim, mali bishul psamanim. In the mikdash, it wasn't even food; it was dye. They cooked up the dye. So, and what she extends. What's the difference between dye and metal? Right, the lead. So therefore, it becomes bishul. Bishul, even Rabbi Yosi agrees, is going to be a lav sheyish by kareis on Shabbos. So now we're stuck. I want to call it stuck, or we have our proof Right? Here's an example. Whether you go to Rabbi Yosi or Nasan, there seems to be a pasuk that's telling me specifically by the mitzvah say of killing in a bezdin, someone who needs to be killed. That one is now docheh the lav sheish b'kareis of Havarah, or if not Havarah, the bishul of the psila by Sreifa. That means that ba'alma we can imply that Aseh is docheh l'sheish b'kareis. So that should be our answer to Tav Kimel. To which the Gemara responds, no, it's true, everything that we said is true, that there is a special pasuk in Moshe Seichem teaching me that the Bezdin should not do the Aseh of Mises Bezdin. Even when it comes to Lav Shish B'kareis, you need the pasuk to teach me don't do it. It's an Aseh against Lav Shish B'kareis. Yeah, mitzah la Aseh being docheh Lav Shish B'kareis, we wouldn't have thought it's docheh. There's a different reason why we would have thought it's docheh. What's that? It's not because of the general Aseh would have been docheh l'sei avada. Why not have? El mishum de maisi leid mikal v'chomer. You would have made a kal v'chomer from elsewhere to teach me that they should go and kill on Shabbos, even in conflict with the lav sheish b'kareis. V'achei kamar mani mekayim mechala mosimas. We're going to read it into the Brisa. The pasuk that says that one who does Kriya Shabbos is chaim, so you have to listen. You can't do any of the melachos. B'shar malachos who's mis bezin. I'll say that pasuk goes on to be other malachos not bezin. Al mis bezin docheh Shabbos. I would have thought mis bezin docheh Shabbos. Why mikal v'chomer? Because of the special kal v'chomer on the top of Zayin Amal ma'avoda she chamura v'docheh Shabbos. So the pasuk avoda in the Beis Hamikdash, right? Avoda, the karbanos or the tamid is brought. It's chomer. It's docheh Shabbos. All the different avodas. Ritzicha dochosa. But yet ritzicha murder will be docheh avoda. What does that mean? If there's a kohen who's found to be a murderer, so you pull him away from the avoda, to go be machayv misa, if we have good raya that he murdered. So it means that ritzicha is docheh avoda, being machayv someone misa, in Bezdin, is docheh avoda, or push away the mitzvahs I say avoda, and we said avoda is docheh Shabbos. So then Shabbos, Shabbos, which is pushed away from avoda, shouldn't we say that Chiyumis's Bezdin should be docheh Shabbos? So that was the first clause of the Brisa. The Brisa continued, Umay o eno dekamer. The Brisa then rejected, right? Or you're going to go the other way, and you'll say, no, it shouldn't be docheh. So what would be the response to that kavachomer? Hachi kamar. It's saying like this: Kavuras meis mitzvah approve from the kavura of a mace that has to be buried and no one's burying it. Shadochas havoda. We have a special pasuk that it is docheh avoda when there's in front of a kohen to do avoda. But on the other hand, you have this kvuras meis mitzvah. What do you do? The kvuras meis mitzvah. Ve'in docheh to Shabbos. But yeah, kvuras meis mitzvah. We don't bury the dead on Shabbos, even a meis mitzvah. So you see that you could have an example like that. So maybe the aseh of killing someone in Bezdin is likewise. And that is that it's not docheh Shabbos, even though it's docheh avoda. You'll pull away the kohen from the mizbeach to kill him if he was a murderer. Haramar k'vras mitzvah tidcha Shabbos mikal v'chomer. And that the Bryce is responding, I should really say k'vras mitzvah itself is tidcha Shabbos, should be docheh Shabbos from the same kal v'chomer. Uma avoda she docheh Shabbos k'vras mitzvah docheh so, right? The avoda we do on Shabbos, even though there's a melachah. Kvuras meis mitzvah is docheh the avodah. Mi v'lachusa. Here's the pasuk that we were referring to before. The word of v'lachusa in the pasuk tells us that Shabbos nidcha mivnei avodah eno den shtei kvuras mitzvah docheh. So Shabbos pushes away an avodah. For sure, kvuras mitzvah should happen on Shabbos. If there's a dead body to be buried, there's no to take care of it. It's Shabbos. You go bury, even when there's malacha. Tamaloymar. So finally, Rav Shmuel finishes off in the Brisa. They're lo sevaru. All the kal v'chomers you want. End of the day, it says lo savaru ish b'chol Moshe Seichem. We darshan Moshe Seichem to the other pasuk, which is a pasuk regarding a bezdin giving misa. So also here it says lo savaru. The bezdin should not light a fire. Do not be over melachah of Shabbos to give someone misa, even misa's bezdin. Period. And now tomorrow we'll continue how the Gemara explains what the other way to understand Rabbi Shmuel based on the initial understanding that the Beis Yisrael was dealing with the possibility of Yaseh being docheh l'saseh shish b'kareis.